We're all on a journey of self-discovery. We're evolving on this journey. And we realize that the Word of God is not written in a book. It's written within the DNA. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. It's been quite a journey and I wouldn't trade it for the world. We get specific lessons on our journey. We get specific experiences that are special, specifically for each and every one of us. We're embracing who we truthfully are. And the reality of it, that's the highest form of existence, the truth. As we are constantly going through our trials, our tribulations, our lessons, our successes, our victories, each and every one of these things build us. The ups, the downs, a time for this and a time for that. And the ultimate goal is to achieve authenticity. Who you truthfully are. Do you have the courage to find it out? Do you have the courage to come outside of your comfort zone? You know, I reflect back on when I started this journey and going through periods of consuming, expanding consciousness, learning new things, diving deep, piercing through programming, an illusionary world, and finding out who I truthfully am. Let me tell you something. When you were a child, you always knew who you were. That's the answer. Over the course of time, you might lose yourself. But when you go back to childhood, you knew when you came in who you authentically were. And we go through a lifetime of experiences, trying to figure it all out. And one day, you realize the truth of you. The truth cannot be told, it can only be realized. I have to realize who I am. No one could tell me who I am. On your journey, you're going to have to realize who you are. No one could tell you who you are. You're going to have to figure it out as you go along this journey. A trip is planned. A journey has twists and turns. And no two journeys are the same. And you might think it's going to play out one way, and then you might go on a detour. And you have to be fluid, like the water. And the more that we are fluid, like the water, flexible, we'll get much more out of life. When you're very rigid and you have a limiting belief system, you're going to have to break free of that limiting belief system. When I started teaching this authentic truth, there was no book to tell you what to do. Even on my original teaching journey, I was just given a stack of papers and said, good luck. And once again, I was given a task, this time by God. And he said, good luck. Now we evolve, we grow, and we're closing a chapter of our everyday lives. And as we close this chapter, as the sun sets on this chapter, I spend time reflecting in the reflecting pool over here. You get it? It is like a reflecting pool. No, we're reflecting. And I'm so grateful for all that I have experienced, and I'm very grateful for all of you. And you know, really think outside the box, and don't wait too long. You know, things are calling you, and you have to really get in tune with your soul. You got to get in tune with the Sacred Heart, and these things are going to lead you. And the more as the frequencies of the planet are rising up, the more that we are denying ourselves, these frequencies can throw us off, and it could be quite irritating. And God won't allow you to sell yourself short. God will not allow you to just sit there. God will not allow evolution to pass you by. And the more that you're in alignment, listen to yourself and spend time alone. You know, some people, they, however you meditate, but spend time alone. I'm not like anyone else. I think a lot of you have come to see that. Walk your own path. Walk the path less traveled. And that's what I've done on my journey. You know, coming out and starting this, you know, when you're a pioneer at something, and, you know, people have done what I am plotting out in the blueprint, but I'm going about it a different way, and it's never been done before. And when you do something that's never been done before, you're going to come across, you know, a lot of people that maybe don't understand you. But in the future, then all of a sudden, it will make sense. And it's all about building subconscious programs. You know, that's why I embrace the strongest of all, the best there is. Because if you just keep going, you are doing the work. And even if people don't understand you at the time that you are implanting a seed of consciousness within them, in the end, they will come to realize it on their very timeline. You know, on my journey, there were things that I came across and maybe I didn't understand at first glance. But then later on, I've understood it. It comes from within, it really does. And the more that we really embrace that we are the ones that have the ability to, you know, alter a lot of the reality, we could all alter the timeline. We're changing things every second of the day. And the reason why it hasn't happened is because people have to be the pioneers to set the stage. And people will say, oh, wow, this is possible. Oh, that's possible. And then all of a sudden, more and more people start doing it. So what's the answer? Become the change that you want to see in the world. And that's what I embraced. And I kept going. And I listened to the great people that came before me. And those great people were my family. And my family taught me a lot of what I needed to do. And they helped build the inexhaustible belief in myself. We all have to start believing in ourselves. And if you deny yourself, if you just do what everyone else does, nothing gets accomplished. You're here for so much more. You know, all the great lessons that my mother taught me and what she instilled in me as a child. And that's why, you know, it's really important, and we need to have, you know, great parenting moving forward. And when you have those strong subconscious programs that are built within us, and that was the problem with society. Years ago, many people, they didn't really understand, what the subconscious mind can do. So much trauma within children over the years. So I'm grateful for the lessons that my mother taught me, and she taught me the greatest lesson of all was doing everything yourself, not relying on anyone else. Lead. And I think about my father, and everything that my father taught me, and he prepared me for this. And he said, you could accomplish anything that you put your mind to. And I just listened to him. I watched him. You got to watch, because that's where you're going to find the real superheroes, when you watch. When I think about my superhero, I watched him every day. I watched him live his everyday life. Yeah. And we lead by example. We overcome things so that other people can say, you know what? I could do it too. So as I enjoy the sunset today, I leave you this message. Nobody knows the day or time. You set plans. You set them out to the universe. You etch them out with God. However, you don't know the time. So I'm just going to spend this time doing what I've been doing the past few months, just enjoying the sunset. This time, I enjoy the sunset as it sets on the last chapter of my life. And we start a new chapter. Yeah. We start a new chapter together. A chapter where we're the leaders of the new earth. A chapter where we all create abundance. A chapter where we live a life that is true to ourselves. If you could do something that nobody else can do, would you do it? You have to ask yourself that question, because there's a lot of things in the world. There are situations, there are opportunities, but you might just sit there, you might be afraid, and you have to realize that the frequencies of the universe, they matter. When you live a life in fear, when you live a life in the lower frequencies, you can't accomplish much. But when you rise up above acceptance, sometimes we need to accept certain things. And, there's a time for this and a time for that. And God gives us lessons and we have to accept them. But we don't have to accept a lot of things in life. So then we rise up and we have passion. Oh yeah, you have passion, which brings love. And you rise higher to the ultimate truth. The truth of you is what you need to put on the main stage. That's where you need to stay focused on. The signs, the synchronicities, they're driving you. And, a lot of people, they live a life thinking that it can't be them. And I set forth to show people through firsthand experience, you have to be a pioneer. You have to do things so that people could see them. And then they believe in themselves. And it's harder. It's harder to be a way show, or it's harder to be a pioneer. You get bashed around a little bit, a little bit much. But it's time to embrace the strength, the power, and what we're able to do. The strongest one there is. You better believe it. That's what you need to embrace. The powers, they've been inside of you all along. You just, you didn't realize it, kid. You didn't realize it. But now you're beginning to realize it. And once you realize, that's where the change happens. You have to change the inner world. The inner world changes the outer world. And you have to listen carefully, and you will hear the word of God. The word of God is not written in a book. The word of God is written within the DNA. So now it's time to take your rightful place. Now it's time for glory. Now it's time to do the unthinkable. If you have the inexhaustible belief in yourself, you could accomplish anything. My father taught me when I was a boy, you could accomplish anything that you put your mind to. As the sun sets on this chapter of our everyday lives, and a new chapter begins, it's time to rise, warriors. I love each and every one of you. I'm grateful for all of you that have been on this journey all the way through. What a journey it's been. You're all my family. And the greatest things in life, no one tells you you have to do it. Nobody told me I had to do this. No one tells you. You just do it. You answer the call. Many are called. But who will answer the call? You have faith in God. But God has faith in you. You have to lead, even if you're the army of one. You've seen things since you were a child. You could pick up on the frequencies. You might see someone that you remember. It's time to get the band back together. I accept my leadership role. I accept my new quests. I accept the responsibility. I'm the best there is at what I do. And so it is. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because when we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. When you see this, you'll know. We always knew. We always knew. Nobody can know the day or time, but you always knew since you were a kid. I'm grateful for all the seasons that I've been through. I'm grateful for all the lessons that I've had. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the experiences. And I'm grateful that I got to experience my calling. It's vocation. The meaning of life is living a life of meaning. That's it. You're a leader, you have to embrace who you are. Builders build, teachers teach, leaders lead. I build, I teach, I lead. I am that I am. Remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that these are our everyday lives. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. And our friends are back. It's unbelievable. The core. It's inside of you. Believe in yourself. This was a great journey. Really was. I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I appreciate all of you. And someone is looking forward to seeing you all real soon. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. Time to reflect. Yeah. You better believe it. I am that I am. Always and forever.